Good morning, day 93 of hiking the Appalachian Trail in 100 days. Doing well this morning, just past the 4-mile mark, a little bit before 8:30, and gonna have a decent bit of climbing today. I'm going in, should be in less than 10 miles up to the top of some bald, I forget the name, but it's over 5,000 feet of elevation. So got some up and down until then, and then the last 1,500 feet or so are one continuous climb. But after that, the next 8 or 9 miles should be pretty chill. Started hiking this morning, first 15 minutes or so with my headlamp. I've consistently been waking up around 5:30, 5:40 for probably close to the past month, honestly. And the sunrise just keeps getting later. I think today it was at like 7:10. So unless I just want to sit around, I have to start hiking with my headlamp now at the beginning, which is fine. I don't really care. It's usually only a few minutes before it gets light out, so it's my brother's birthday today, so happy birthday, Brad. He's over there in Hawaii serving in the Army right now, so great of him to do that, and we do appreciate it. So happy birthday to him. Nice little view here. You can see some of a lake down there and over there. Maybe it's the same one. Not entirely sure. Up on this little, somewhat of a summit here with some rockier section. Climbing my way up now to the top of Chiaha Bald, which is just over 5,000 feet. And this is definitely going to be the biggest climb of the day. And after that, like a mile-ish of down, and then I'll be stopping at a shelter for midday lunch break type thing. But I just passed a group of 3 guys, and one of them had a shirt on that said Air Force Marathon, which I know is in Dayton. So I asked if they were from the Dayton area, and he said, yeah, they live in Indiana, but he works at Wright Pat. So I thought that was pretty cool. They said they were just out for a few days. They just do a few days each year. Starting, I guess they started from Springer probably and just working their way up. So they said I was the first through hiker they saw, which was interesting. And I don't think I really realized this completely yesterday, or definitely didn't mention it, but I believe I'm completely done with Tennessee. I think yesterday morning, after I went up that one little climb, the trail kind of headed south and stayed in North Carolina the rest of the day. It went away from the Tennessee border there, and I think it's in North Carolina the rest of the way till we reach Georgia. So oh, it just fell a little bit there, but that's 12 states complete. On the 13th state now, and just one more to go after this one, which is Georgia. At the top of Chiaha Bald here, and some pretty epic views actually of some of those mountains, and those mountains out there look pretty steep. So glad I'm not climbing those, at least I don't think I am. But yeah, just a bit after 12, and got just over a mile down to the Sassafras Gap shelter. Well, I just got done eating and literally just got back out to the trail. This is the trail crossing where the shelter spurter, and there's a snake there. Hasn't moved since I've saw it, but interesting. It's about 3:10 right now, and I have just about a mile to go to get to the Natahala Outdoor Center, and that's right by the Natahala River, I believe. And I'm also currently in the Natahala National Forest. But anyway, they have a general store and kind of restaurant there, and they have a bunch of stuff like rafting and all that. But I heard the restaurant's pretty expensive, so I probably won't go there, but I'll probably try to get some ice cream at the general store and maybe some other snacks, and I'll probably buy some more fuel, which should be the last stove fuel purchase of the trip. And then from there, it'll be just under a mile to the shelter and campsite for the night. Crossing the Natahala River. Pretty neat little area here. It was interesting how I just like popped out of the mountain and it just appeared, this whole little thing. So it looks like there's the restaurant there and the general store up here. In the tent for the night, and like I mentioned, it was a little shocking when I was hiking down the trail and was on the side of this mountain, and I could hear the road for a little bit and hear the river and see the river a little bit towards the end, but then all of a sudden there were these cabins to my one side, and then I crossed railroad tracks, and this whole big area was before me with these buildings with this like bar, and then I crossed the river and there was all these different stores. So that was interesting. I stopped at the general store, got some ice cream, and then sat outside. There's like an outfitter store, and so I sat outside there, and there were some outlets, and I charged my battery some and just kind of chilled and ate the ice cream. And there was a couple there with their dog, and I was talking to them a little bit about the trail and just how long I'd been out, and they're like, wow, 93 days, stuff like that. And then after that, I went in the outfitter and bought some fuel, and then just kind of chilled there. So I was there, I think around 45 minutes, and then I hiked the less than a mile up to the Rufus Morgan shelter, and it was pretty much all uphill, but not too bad. I got here around 4:40, I think, so pretty good time in camp. And set up my tent here, and there's a nice stream nearby. Got some water, cooked dinner, all that good stuff. It did take me a while to get the bear bag set up. There's not really many trees. I was trying on one tree, but it was too high up, and after like 10 or 20 minutes of throwing the rope, I gave up and found another tree, and that one I got the rope up pretty quickly, but then my rope wasn't quite long enough, so I have this other little piece of rope that I kind of used to extend my rope so that I could reach both ends and tie the bear bag up. But that other piece of rope was kind of stretchy, so it was a whole fiasco, but I ended up getting the bear bag up, and I think it'll work for the night. And then around 6:30, there were these three guys that showed up, and they basically said they hadn't come across any water all day, so they were like really thirsty and got some water at the stream and drank a bunch, and then but they headed on because they're going north, and they're just staying at the NOC, I think, this evening. So they were just out for a few days, but they were interesting to talk to for a few minutes. So I'm at the Rufus Morgan shelter, which is at mile 2061.3. So that's a total of 23.3 miles today. And tomorrow I do have, I think somewhere between 22 and 23 miles, but it's going to be a lot of elevation gains. So I think it's going to be a fairly tough day. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully I don't have water problems. I think those guys only did like 11 miles between here and where they stayed last night, so I definitely should be fine in the morning. And I think they said there's water at the shelter that I'm going to tomorrow night, so I think I'll be fine on water, but we will see. Glad to have got some ice cream today and started a small little 2-day streak, but I don't think it's going to get extended tomorrow.